Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on Nakshatra, and today we'll be discussing about the sixth Nakshatra, which is the Ardra Nakshatra. So far, we have discussed five Nakshatras, and people who have not viewed my earlier videos, I've had five videos and five other videos which describes the four divisions of those respective nakshatras. So the nakshatras discussed so far are Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, and Mrigasira. And today we'll be discussing about Ardra Nakshatra, which is the sixth nakshatra. Now, as we have moved starting from Ashwini, from the zodiac sign of Aries, we reached the zodiac sign of Gemini, and the nakshatra of Ardra has a distance spanning from 6 degrees and 41 minutes through 20 degrees of Gemini. As we know that each nakshatra covers a distance of not about exactly 13 degrees and 20 minutes, and there are 27 nakshatras, and 27 times 13 degrees and 20 minutes comes to the entire zodiac, which comprises of 360 degrees. So moon moves from one nakshatra to another nakshatra in approximately one day, so it completes the cycle of the entire zodiac in about 27 days. And moon moves from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign in approximately 2.25 days. So it covers a distance of 30 degrees in approximately 2.25 days. So today Ardra Nakshatra spans over 6 degrees and 41 minutes through 20 degrees in the zodiac sign of Gemini. And we'll be discussing about people born in this nakshatra, which is Ardra Nakshatra. And just a quick recap, as I've already discussed in my earlier videos, that when moon moves into one nakshatra, when actually a person is born, we check his birth chart and see where the moon is placed. And that's how generically we say that, okay, this person is born in this nakshatra. So when we're talking about a particular nakshatra, we are talking about a position of moon at the time of birth, meaning which moon was there in that particular nakshatra. Although all the planets would be in some nakshatra or the other, because the entire 27 nakshatras cover the entire zodiac of 360 degrees. But generically, once again, we say that moon, wherever moon is placed, is what we say a person is born in this nakshatra. So people who, for people whose moon was when they were born in Ardra Nakshatra is what we are going to be talking about today. So what are the characteristics of people born in Ardra Nakshatra? First, we'll see the symbols. As we've discussed the symbols of the other nakshatras, this nakshatra also has a symbol. And the nakshatra, the Ardra Nakshatra, actually, if you translate it from Sanskrit, it means the moist one, or you can even say it's the fresh, moist. Something like, you can associate with a green, fresh morning blade of grass which has a little mist on it. So try to visualize that. So that's what Ardra is. So the translation, the direct translation is the moist one. And the symbol of this nakshatra is teardrop. And the presiding deity of this nakshatra, or people born in this nakshatra, would be Rudra. So people born in this nakshatra have a great influence of the great god Rudra, which is the god of storms, destruction, war, whatever you can say, the god of war and destruction and storms. And the planet which rules this nakshatra is Rahu. So these are the things, and then of course there's always an animal symbol associated with every nakshatra, and the animal symbol associated with Ardra Nakshatra is a female dog. So the guna is very tamasic, or tamasic as they say in Sanskrit, because of the controlling planet or the ruling planet, which is Rahu. And as we all know, Rahu is extremely tamasic. So what are the characteristics of people born in this nakshatra? Since we've already discussed the symbol, we've already discussed the animal symbol, we've already discussed the presiding deity, we've already discussed which planet rules over this nakshatra and what is the nature of this nakshatra, or the guna rather of this nakshatra. We can get an idea of what the characteristics will be for people born in this nakshatra. Now, people born in this nakshatra, first of all, we know that this nakshatra is covering the entire distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes in the zodiac sign of Gemini. So there's a good influence of Gemini on people born in this nakshatra, meaning which when moon was placed in this nakshatra at the time of birth. So I'm not going to be repeating this. Please understand that when we talk of nakshatra and people born in this nakshatra, it is the moon's placement in this nakshatra. So one of the influencing factor, of course, is the zodiac sign in which it is placed, which is Gemini, 6 degrees 41 minutes of Gemini through 20 degrees of Gemini. So it doesn't jump from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign. It's within Gemini, and the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. And Mercury, as we know, is about communication, it's about good memory, it's about good intellect, and it's about a sharp mind. So, and one of the things I'd like to discuss here is that Rahu, which is the ruler of this nakshatra in this zodiac sign, there's a very strong connection. Rahu, some people say, although the exaltation sign of Rahu, as per Sage Parashara, is Taurus, but according to some ancient texts, Rahu is exalted in the zodiac sign of Gemini as well. And even if we do not consider its exaltation sign as Gemini, we definitely consider that Rahu functions extremely well in Gemini. So there's a strong favorable connection between the ruler, or between the zodiac sign in which this nakshatra is placed and the ruler of this nakshatra, which is Rahu. So the zodiac sign is Gemini and Rahu is the ruler of this nakshatra, and there's a strong positive connection between them. So Rahu functions extremely well. So people, of course, in this have a very, very intellectual mind, good memory, extremely communicative, and their mind is very, very sharp, and that's pretty much what the characteristics of people born in this nakshatra is. Another characteristic which is related to the presiding deity, which is Rudra, which is the god of destruction, is, their activities, their favorite activities sometimes can be destruction, and sometimes can be destructive in a positive way. Like, they could be in shipbreaking industry, they could tear down buildings and recreate, because then again, Mercury is the ruling planet of the zodiac sign they're placed in. So they could be in professions where they could tear down buildings, break down ships, because of course Rudra is the influencing factor here in destruction, and then they could recreate it with the power of Mercury. So and then you can translate it in terms of they could manage very, very difficult situations. And the only problem with people born in this nakshatra is that, along with a strong communication skill and good memory and good intellect, they have very strong materialistic tendencies and desires, and they have a tendency to have luxuries around them, which may not be a very positive thing. Sometimes they can be ungrateful, and the luxury part comes from comes from the planet Rahu, uh, and the Rahu's creativity, or Rahu's tendency rather, to uh, indulge itself into more of materialistic tendencies. They can be sometimes very ungrateful, very mischievous, very anti-social. That these are the weaknesses related to this nakshatra. Very, very, um, very lustful rather, and all these things are coming from the rulership of this nakshatra, which is Rahu. Excessive indulgences, and they can be pretty, they can create painful situations for others. They can be pretty sarcastic, and they can abuse their power at times. All these things are related to the ruling planet, which is Rahu. But again, the positive things which we have discussed is, their ability to create, and their ability to be extremely intellectual, and then their ability to be very communicative. So like I said, the Rahu and Mercury are moving here as a complementary energy to each other. Like I said, Rahu functions extremely well in Gemini. So that's one good thing about the rulership of Rahu being in a zodiac sign of Gemini. Now, what professions they would be in? Well, one of the good professions they could be in would be, they could be in computer sciences. They could be software engineers, because it's all about software engineers, about Mercury, and Rahu, because Rahu is about mass communication, internet, the IT industry. They could also be in electronics, because electronics again is, and sometimes electrical also, is associated with the planet Rahu. Some science fiction, special effects. They could be good researchers. They definitely can work with poisonous substances. And poisonous substances could mean, they could be in a laboratory working with poisonous chemicals. They could be in the nuclear power industry, because nuclear power again is associated with the planet Rahu. And they could be sales people, because sales again is associated with the planet Mercury, or which Mercury, which is the ruling planet of the zodiac sign where this nakshatra is placed. They could be excellent thieves as well. Thieves again associated with Rahu. It's not a very positive profession to say, but some of the smartest thieves and con men, rather, I would say, could be born in this nakshatra. And one of the another good profession which I can think of is they could be associated with neurosciences, which means they could be good psychiatrists, which deals with the brain and neurology and the nervous system, which is again associated with the planet Mercury. So these are some of the good professions. But like I said, they have weaknesses as well. One of the weaknesses I just mentioned is that they are pretty materialistic, and they have an excessive desire to be amongst luxuries and indulgences, and antisocial sometimes, and mischievous as well. And all this is coming from Rahu. So hopefully, I have covered pretty much what I had to related to this nakshatra, as to what the positive and negative traits are, what would be good professions for them, what are the symbols associated, how the planets function as far as this nakshatra is concerned, what are the distances, what zodiac sign this nakshatra is in. And then we are going to be discussing the 4 divisions of this nakshatra. And as per the ancient scriptures, every nakshatra, which spans over a distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes, is further divided into 4 equal divisions, which is ruled by a particular planet which influences that person. and that division covers a distance of 3 degrees and 20 minutes. So I'm not going to discuss those divisions here in this video today. I'm going to be discussing just the overall characteristics of Ardra Nakshatra, which I already discussed. And in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 divisions of this nakshatra, which are the 4 padas of this nakshatra. And each pada, like I said, is covering a distance of 3 degrees and 20 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meanwhile, I will recommend please subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic soon. Goodbye.